morning, this is Bob Mason from FX Empire and welcome to the daily crypto tech review of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin and Ripple's XRP. Looking at the MACDs, the moving averages and the day's support, resistance and pivot levels. It is Thursday the 21st of January. Jumping straight into Bitcoin against the US dollar. It's a bearish start to the day here. Going to see Bitcoin avoid the pivot at 35,080. Take a run at the first major resistance level sitting at 36,858. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Bitcoin to break out from yesterday's high that was at 36,422. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and resistance at 37,000 to cap any upside. In the event of a breakout, should see Bitcoin take a run at 40,000 before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 38,199. Before through the pivot, we bring the first major support level sitting at 33,759 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Bitcoin should steer clear of sub 33,000 levels. 23.6% fib at 33,008 should limit any downside. Looking at the MACDs, slight widening of the bullish histograms this morning after yesterday's bullish cross, suggestive of some upside through the morning. On the EMAs, however, we have seen the 50 pull back marginally from the 100 and the 200, with the 100 also pulling back from the 200, supporting this early morning fall. So keep through the early part of the day, avoid the pivot at 35,080 to take a run at the first major resistance levels and bring 37,000 levels back into play. Failure to do that and you've got support levels in play. Moving across to Ethereum against the US dollar, bearish start this morning. Going to need to see Ethereum avoid the pivot at 1340 to take a run at the first major resistance level, so you get 1446. Going to need to see support from the broader market, however, for Ethereum to break out from its swing high from the 19th of Jan at 1440. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and swing high at 1440 to cap any upside. In the event of breakout, could see Ethereum test resistance at 1600 before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 1514. Fall through the pivot, we bring the first major support level sit at 1271 into play. Barring extended sell-off on the day, Ethereum should continue to avoid sub 1200s. Second major support level sits at 1165. Looking at the MACD, we've got a widening of the bullish histograms this morning after yesterday's bullish cross, suggestive of upside through the morning. On the EMAs, we're also seeing the 50 move away marginally from the 100 and the 200, suggestive of a rebound through the morning. So key through the early part of the day, avoid the pivot at 1340, break back through to 1400 levels to then bring resistance levels into play. Moving across to Litecoin against the US dollar, also bearish this morning. Going to need to see Litecoin avoid the pivot at 148.2 and the 23.6% fib at 148 to support a run at the first major resistance level sitting at 157.87. Going to see support from the broader market for Litecoin to break out from yesterday's high that was at 156.3. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and resistance at 160 to cap any upside. In the event of a breakout, could see Litecoin test resistance at 170 before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 165.97. Fall through the pivot and 23.6% fib, we bring the first major support level sitting at 140.10 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Litecoin should avoid the second major support level sitting at 130.43. Looking at the MACDs, slight widening of the bullish histograms over the turn of the day, supporting some upside through the morning. On the EMAs, however, that 50 has closed in on the 100 and the 200, supporting this early morning pullback. So keep through the early part of the day, avoid a fall through the pivot and the 23.6% fib at 148, and move back through to 150s to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that and support levels are in play. Moving across to Ripple's XRP against the US dollar, it's also bearish this morning. Going to need to see Ripple's XRP move back through the pivot at 0.2959 to take around the first major resistance level, saying at 0.3115. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Ripple's XRP to break back through to 0.30 levels to then target 0.31 levels. Barring extended crypto rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and yesterday's high at 0.312 to cap any upside. In the event of breakout, could see Ripple's XRP test resistance at 0.33 before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 0.3276. We'll need support from the broader market, however, for Ripple's XRP to break out from the 23.6% fib at 3172. Failure to move back through the pivot would bring the first major support level at 2797 into play. Barring extended sell-off on the day, Ripple's XRP should avoid sub 0.27 levels. Second major support level sits at 0.2641. Looking at the MACDs, we've got a slight narrowing of the bullish histogram supporting this early morning pullback. On the EMA, the 50 is holding its ground against the 100 and the 200, however, so nothing conclusive there. So key through the early part of the day, move back through the pivot at 0.2959 and back through to 0.30 levels to target resistance levels. Failure to do that and support levels are in play.